So this video is just going to be a complete crash course into how to use OBS, how to set everything up, how to get audio working, video working, everything that I can think of, and all of the equipment that I use. So I hope you guys enjoy. This is my microphone. It's a Rode NT1, and it's running into a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. My headphones are also running from the Focusrite, as you can see in the bottom corner there. The microphone is sitting on an Elgato boom arm. I would recommend this one because it's super stable and it doesn't swing up on you. You just set it and then it just stays wherever you put it. It's very, very nice. This is how I hold my phone. It has a light on top of it as well as another thing, like an adapter thing in the other corner there. But this is how I hold my phone to use as a camera for recording. If my phone doesn't work, I use the Logitech C920. It does full 1080p at 30 frames a second. It's not the best quality, but I'll show you how to fix that in a minute. For recording my phone, I have a adapter that runs into a capture card. As you can see here, there's 3 things plugged in. The one that I'm holding with my thumb right there is how my phone is, like where I plug my phone into, and the other 2 is a HDMI cable and a charger. That way the phone doesn't die while it's plugged in. This is the capture card. It's the HD60S. It's plugged in only to the in port because if I plug it into the monitor, you'd be able to see the screen on the monitor, and that's not what we want for this. The computer we use is a Y40 gaming desktop. The graphics card in the computer is a 4070 and it uses 32 gigabytes of RAM. If you guys are interested in seeing any of the things that I've shown so far, I'll leave a link in the description to an Amazon list that you guys can go look at if you want to. The rest of the things we have plugged in are a keyboard, mouse, gaming controller, you know, the basic stuff. As for my headphones, I use Philips Fidelio X2s. As far as the lighting in my videos goes, it's mainly like 3 or 4 lights in the background. We have a standard like ring light, and then I have 2 GVM video lights. They are great video maker lights, and they do things like change color. They have a different effects on them and everything, so they work really, really nice. Now that I've shown you guys how I have everything hooked up, I want to show you the software side of everything. So the apps that I use on the PC, how you set them up, everything like that. Alright, so when you open a new instance of OBS, it's gonna look like this. Like exactly like this. If you want to set things up the way I have them, you have to go into your settings and change a few things. The main thing you have to change is in the video tab. Change both of these to 3840 by 1080. Leave the FPS alone unless it's not set to 60, then set it to the highest you can. Hit OK, and there you go. This is how I have things set up with a really long window. To add anything in, let's say you want to add a camera. You click this, the video capture device, and there we go. Now you can see my camera. I don't think it's gonna work because this is already being used by a different instance of OBS. So we'll switch to my webcam, which also isn't gonna work. Okay, never mind. If you want to like crop all of this out without losing any quality, you could just zoom in and then move it to where you want. I usually have it set like this. Well, a little bit further. Kind of set like that. That way there's not a huge like background or whatever, but for this I'll just leave it alone. So let's say you don't have a webcam and you want to be able to record your face, like kind of better quality than a laptop camera. What you would do is you go to this site called viedo.ninja, and it takes you to this site. So you need to download Video Ninja on your phone as well for this to work. When you go into your settings in the app, there will be a browser link that you can use. Once you have that link, you go back into OBS or Streamlabs, you click this plus button, you click browser, you go into the properties of this, and you see URL here. You can add in your own, like the Video Ninja URL that you got on your phone. I know there's a lot of other ways of capturing your phone screen. Video Ninja, as far as I have tested, has worked the best out of all of them, because all you have to do literally is just put the link from the Video Ninja on your phone into the computer on OBS, and then plug your phone into a power source so it doesn't die. And that's it. If you're on Android, there's a setting where you can keep your phone awake while it's charging, so it doesn't turn off, so the camera will stay active. That way you don't have to worry about it having that 10-minute timeout or whatever it has. The only thing that I've noticed as far as a downside to Video Ninja is sometimes the quality gets a bit bad. If that's the case, you just have to close OBS and reopen it, and it should be back to normal. I'm not exactly sure why that happens, but that's just what I've experienced in my own use of the app. As far as capturing a game or the display goes, you can go down here again and you hit, I usually go display capture so you can see everything, but if you don't want that, you can just hit game capture and it should automatically capture whatever game you're playing. For setting up microphones and headphones, go into settings, go to audio, and in here you can see the different headphones you have connected if you do have any, and the different microphones you have connected if there are any. Another important step for the recording of everything is like how you record the audio. So go to output, and then if you're just recording, hit recording, and down here you see audio tracks. You're gonna want to have at least the first 3 selected and have all these settings basically the same way that I do here. You can pause the video to see what I have set. So those are the settings. If you're gonna stream, you want the audio track to be on just one audio track. And again, you can copy all the settings I have here. So the reason that the audio tracks are important is because when you go out to your microphone, you're going to want to be able to hear everything on wherever you're recording to. So you hit the 3 dots by the microphone and go down to Advanced Audio Properties. This is where all of that gets affected. So as you can see, by default, it'll look something like this, where everything is selected. Just go through and unselect everything you don't need. In my case, I have everything set to record like so. So we'll set it up like this. So when you go to edit everything, what'll happen is you'll have 3 different tracks. The third has everything on it, which if I go in here, back to the streaming tab, in output, you see there's the 6 is selected. If that's the case, when you go to stream, none of the audio will be picked up. You have to set it to number 3. The reason that's important is because you see how all of these are checked? It's on number 3. Which means when you stream, everything is getting sent out to the stream. For recording, however, you can keep these selected just in case, but you have 1 tab is your video, 1 tab is your microphone. As you can see, I have desktop audio on track 2, microphone audio is on track 1. If you're going to record the PlayStation through a capture card, it will add another track here that you have to select, but I don't have my capture card plugged in at the moment, so it's not going to do that. If it does do that, what you need to do for capture cards, you're going to want to go and hit monitor only mute output. What that's going to do is it's going to make it so there's no echo. That way you can record your game and it's not echoing back to people, because that is another issue that I've faced. So let's go in, we'll add a display capture. This is my screen. Okay, we add that. And there you go. Look at that. Now you have the display capture and your face cam all good to go. But the issue is when you go to stream like this, the stream is going to see two windows. So how do you stop that? Again, you're going to want to go in here, go to 1920 by 1080, hit apply, and there we go. Now it's a big screen. This is what you would see normally. You're going to want to move the camera to the corner, like so, and then the game goes underneath it, just like that. And now when you're in here, you can move this around however you want. That's for normal streaming. If you want to start getting into crazy stuff and you want to add overlays and different things like that, you can make things. Like, for example, I have a starting soon screen. That looks like this, which I made myself. And you have your alerts, your chat. You can't normally get those in OBS. The way to get them is, again, you have to go up here and add a browser source, and then you go into your stream manager, you hit these three dots, and then you hit pop out chat, or it'll be like pop out whatever, and then you just copy this link right here, and then once you have that copied, you go back to OBS and you hit browser, and then you can copy the link into there and it should show up. As far as audio goes, if you have a nice microphone or anything, there is this thing called NVIDIA Broadcast. You can add noise removal and everything. If the microphone is too quiet, go down to Open Sound Mixer and make sure that you have the right stuff selected. If it still sounds quiet, what you can do is open sound settings, and again, just make sure everything is selected, and then go into more sound settings. That'll open up this box, which is what you'll see if you're running Windows 10. So just make sure that these are selected correctly. As you can see, I have my microphone is right there. You can see by the green. And if I click this, right click, go to properties, go to levels, and then set it to like whatever you think sounds good. If you want to listen to it while you're doing this, just go to listen and make sure listen to this device is selected, and then you can set the levels how you want. Then just uncheck listen to this device and hit OK. Once you have your microphone running through NVIDIA Broadcast, you're gonna want to make sure that it is that in OBS as well. So go to settings, go to audio, and as you can see, I have main mic, Rode, NVIDIA Broadcast right here. It's not gonna say main mic or anything, it'll be your microphone and then it'll say NVIDIA Broadcast, but just make sure that that's the one that is selected. And that should help your audio quality a lot. If you want to make it a lot better, you click the three dots, go to filters, and then you set things up the exact way I have things set up. You don't need noise suppression if it's running through NVIDIA Broadcast, but if you don't have NVIDIA Broadcast, then I would recommend setting noise suppression just so you have it. If your computer can only run low quality, I would recommend just not using it, because low quality makes it sound like you're in a waterfall, and it's not great. This is all the settings I have for my microphone. You can pause just to look and see what I have set. As far as the camera goes, again, if you are using your phone, you kinda don't need color correction, but if you want to add it, you would just go here and you select your camera. Again, you can go to Properties, Configure Video, and then it should pop up with this window if you're using your phone. It will look a little different if you're using a webcam, but it'll be the basic same thing. You can increase the brightness, you can decrease stuff. Just mess around with it till you're happy with how it looks. If you want to really fine tweak everything, go back into your camera, go to filters, and then you can add things like color correction or other things like that. And it should help boost everything so you can make things like crazy colors if you wanted to. Very important step. If you're using a Logitech C920, download the software for it because it's very, very, very important. Once you have everything downloaded and all that, click your camera and then go here where it says camera mode and then click streaming. That'll make it look the best out of all the other options. If you want to fine tune it, then you can hit new camera mode and you're able to change all of the settings in it. But if you want to just set it up, plug and play, just hit streaming. It's very, very important because otherwise the camera is going to look completely terrible. So I know that some people have a budget of like free 99 that can't exactly spend money on capture cards or fancy equipment or anything. You kinda don't need it. If you want to record your PlayStation for free, you would download a thing called Remote Play to your computer, and then just make sure that your PlayStation and computer are on the same Wi-Fi. That way you can use Remote Play on your computer. So you should be able to get PlayStation games on your computer that way. And again, with using your phone as a camera, it's free. The only thing you need to do is download a software to your phone. So that's a good way to get good video quality. If you want decent audio quality for kinda cheap, again, you can use like a USB mic. I'm not exactly sure how they sound because I don't use one. If you're looking for something a bit more professional, I would recommend getting a XLR mic because you can better control the sound and everything. If you have it running into something like the Focusrite, or there are other options for audio mixers that are cheaper than the Focusrite that work about the same. I know I used the Behringer UM2 for a while, and that works extremely well for what it is, especially if you have all the filters on your microphone like I showed. It should all work perfectly fine. As far as lighting goes, you don't need fancy lights like I have. You really don't. You just need a lamp or something. So really, you can run your entire setup off of just your phone and your computer if you want to. It's very simple. Once you know how to do it, it's very simple, but I can understand if you don't know how to do this stuff. It's like, where do I start? What do I do? What is anything? I remember when I first started YouTube, I had an HP laptop from like 2014 and my phone, and that was about it. The first purchase I made as far as YouTube content goes is a microphone, because in my opinion the audio quality is better than anything, because you can have just a game going with your voice over top and people will still watch it, no problem, as long as your voice sounds good. You can skip the camera altogether if you want to, it's not gonna be an issue. The other method for recording, if you're just recording and you're not streaming, you could just set up your phone as your camera and then hit record. I wouldn't recommend that if you're just starting out though, because you have to learn how to edit really well. And if you don't know what you're doing as far as that goes, it's just a nightmare to figure out because you have to sync up the audio and the video, and it's just a nightmare. It is a lot less intensive on your computer though, so if that's all you can do for now, then I would recommend use your phone as a camera and then record OBS. Record your game through OBS and only your game. Maybe your game and your mic, and that's it. Because I know when I first started, there was a lot of struggles of like, what am I doing? How do I do this? What do I do? And no one was really giving any answers. Or if they were, it was all throughout like 5 or 10 different videos, which was just, it was just like, I just want one video that shows everything. I don't want to sit here and watch 10 different videos and pick up bits and pieces that might work. I want just something that's like, this is it, this is what you do, here's how you do it. I'm kind of making this video for myself as well because I sometimes get mixed up as to how to do all this stuff because it is a lot of steps. And I want to just make my own sort of tutorial to show how to do everything and explain it as good as I can, because sometimes it's just like, okay, I don't want to watch 7 other YouTubers explain bits and pieces. So this video is just as much for me as it is for all of you guys, because I don't know what I'm doing. So as far as setting up Streamlabs, it is about the same as OBS. You click this, it adds a new thing, and then you can add in your camera, your gameplay, your microphone if you have one, everything like that. Again, if you're using your phone, add a browser source and then put Video Ninja in it. And again, you can set up your mic settings in Streamlabs the same way as in OBS. It's very much, if you watch just the first half of this tutorial, you'll understand what to do in both things. So it'll be fine. You'll be okay. I promise. Alright, so that was how I record videos, all the softwares I use, all the things that I have set up, and my equipment that I use. Hopefully it was helpful. I don't know. If it's not, let me know in the comments, because like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here trying to make life easier for other people that also don't know what they're doing. If there's anything that I missed or anything that could be done better, again, leave a comment. That way if anyone watches this video, they can look and see like how other people do stuff. Because it would be extremely helpful to have different ways of doing things that might work better than others. This is just what I do. This is just what I use and what I do and the process I have to go through to record videos. But it is very nice because once I have everything set up, really all I have to do when I go to record is plug in my phone. And that's it. And the phone is the camera that you're seeing right now. It is a Galaxy S23 Ultra. It's much better than a webcam. Literally any phone you could have would be much better than a webcam. So, and if you have any questions or if I missed something, you can ask in the comments and I'll try to reply to as many people as I possibly can with better explanations for things, because when I record I get kind of like, oh no, what am I saying? But yeah, so hopefully this was helpful and I hope you guys have a good day and I will see you in the next video. Bye.